Tom Brady continues to be the crown jewel of the 2020 free agency class whenever free agency begins. And it's technically supposed to begin in 6 days. As a practical matter, it starts on Monday when the window opens for making offers to guys who will become free agents. And, Chris, we've been identifying a small handful of teams. The Patriots, obviously. Right. The Titans, the 49ers. Yesterday came the report from Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going all in to sign Tom Brady with Bruce Arians leading the charge. Oh, my gosh, to be a fly on the wall for the first meeting between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. But Arians has a reputation for working very well with quarterbacks. His book from a few years ago was called The Quarterback Whisperer. And, you know, I could see Brady viewing Bruce Arians as not a breath of fresh air. He's a full oxygen tank. He's one of those oxygen trucks you see on the highway of fresh air after dealing with doom and gloom for 20 years. So, look, I'm rooting for chaos. You know that.
Yep.
As it relates to football. And I want to see the world turned upside down as it relates to football. And I want Tom Brady to be on a new team. And all of a sudden, I'm smitten by the idea of Tom Brady going to the Buccaneers and being with one of our favorite coaches, Bruce Arians.
Well, that's right. I mean, we got another team to talk about here. You know, the more, and I know this was reported yesterday, but the more and more we go here, the more I've heard, too, that the Tennessee Titans will not be in the Brady conversation. So then that leads me to believe that it's the 49ers, the Patriots, and maybe now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, one thing I can say for sure, the Glazer family who owns the Buccaneers, great family. They've been looking for this type of guy to be the quarterback of their franchise really ever since they've taken over. You know, hey, they hoped it would work for me. You know, when I got hurt, we were in the Brett Favre sweepstakes, right? You know, they've drafted, of course, some guys very high in the draft to hopefully be that franchise guy. They flirted with this. So I understand them loving a guy like Tom Brady. Jason Light, who's down there, he came from New England and was working in the front office. And then other thing I think about Mike, too, is like we hear about Brady not being appreciated, right? You know, that's this to your point. Like Bruce Arians is going to appreciate him. Right? And one thing you hear about Bruce Arians with his quarterbacks is he can get them to like eat out of his hands because he is so in the fight with them all the time, you know, and makes them feel like, hey, it's you and me.
Wait,
right.
Unless you throw 30 interceptions.
Well, then, hey, then he goes, hey, actually, there's no more food left in my hand, and I have to see if somebody else out here is willing to eat from it. You're right. There's an issue there. Now, the other thing I'll say about it, too, is I don't know if I see Tom Brady going down to Tampa Bay and living there and living that life. All right, I'm just going to say that. I loved it. I'm not saying anything personal. I'm just saying this is Tom Brady. This is superstar Hollywood and Giselle Bundchen. They're a different class of person than me. I got it right.
Woo! Stop the show.
Hey,
my gosh, he got it out in 2 syllables.
I got it out in 2 syllables. No, but it was worth the break there. But, you know, the other thing I'll say just from the negative aspect I think about a little bit football-wise with this one is Bruce Arians is famous for getting his quarterbacks beat up and telling them to hold the ball. And, hey, just no biscuit, no risk it, no biscuit, right? You know, that's the saying that goes with him because it means he wants you to be aggressive, throw the ball down the field, stand in the pocket, take shots. Remember, Jameis Winston put on 20 pounds last year because Bruce Arians says, you're going to hold on the ball and we're going to throw it down the field. Is Brady going to be willing to do that type of thing at this point of his career? To me, that's one of the biggest negatives of his game right now. So that will be interesting to me as well.
And the other thing to keep in mind, to the extent that the NFL alters the offseason calendar to accommodate coronavirus and you have less time to work with your new team, less time on the practice field, that becomes a factor in how attractive this offer may be to Tom Brady. But the Buccaneers are in it, and maybe they will win it. Now, other teams, who knows? As you said, the Titans, it just feels like it's a leverage play on Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
And there were some who suggested that that's the theory, and I guess that makes sense, that you flirt with Tom Brady just enough to get Ryan Tannehill to take the offer that's on the table. And I agree with you. I think they're they're better off with Ryan Tannehill than Tom Brady. I just hesitate because
I know.
You know, the minute that we all join the Ryan Tannehill fan club is the minute he tears his ACL again. That's what I'm concerned about.
I hear you. I mean, that's legit. I mean, you're not wrong in thinking that and worrying about that. That's got to be part of the thing that the John Robinson and Mike Vrabel will have to, balance in their own mind as well, and hopefully able to balance that in the contract. But yeah, I certainly would take Tannehill right now over Brady. I understand that. And, of course, Tannehill he's just hitting the prime of his career to where he's going to give you hope as an organization if you saw the things you liked over this last year that go, man, we can build around this guy. This is pretty good. So, yeah, for me, I really look at it and go, just all the signs point to either it's 49ers or Patriots. And again, I'm going to state this one more time for the week. I mean, Adam Schefter is very connected to Brady and the Shanahan family. Adam Schefter was a guy who texted or tweeted and made comments during the NFL season pretty much predicting everything we've seen between Brady and the Patriots back in October. He was sending out tweets and people thought, oh, he's kind of crazy. That'll never happen, blah, blah. He was spot on if you go back and look at what he said and tweeted. So then you have that, and he's gone dark. It's the biggest story in the NFL. To me, that just says it all, that he knows this is real. He can't tweet about it because he's been told by both sides. So he's kind of handcuffed that way. And I think that's the biggest clue we got going right now, let alone we haven't had a guy like Brady or the 49ers shoot it down. I don't think we need to hear that it's really real. It's real. It's
real.
It's by what's not being said to us that we know it's real.
Yeah, it's real. And here's the thing. If it doesn't happen, people will say it was never real. It's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
Right.
It's Twitter is its own creature at times, and trying to reason with Twitter is in many ways more difficult than trying to teach a dog how to drive a car.
Right.
But just because it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen, doesn't mean it wasn't real. Is it real in Las Vegas with the Raiders and Tom Brady? John Gruden was asked recently about Tom Brady, and his response, "You're killing me, man." Well, he can't talk about Tom Brady. He can't say that I want Tom Brady or I'm interested in Tom Brady, although Bruce Arians did that a couple of weeks ago, and he's yet to be charged with tampering. But Gruden said, we love our quarterback. Our quarterback's a really good player, Derek Carr. I want to reiterate that to everybody here in Vegas. We've got a good young quarterback, and the film, the statistics, and analytics prove it. Well, that may be news to Mike Mayock. The GM of the team isn't bashful about saying we're always looking to upgrade at every position, including quarterback. But it sure feels like Brady's not in the cards for the Raiders, Chris. You and I seem to agree that there would be a lot more reporting linking the Raiders to Brady, because John Gruden would be talking to people about it, trying to make sure that he's doing the right thing by bringing in a quarterback who's about to be 43. It's very possible that Brady has made it clear to the Raiders he's not interested in Las Vegas, and that ended that.
Right. I think that would probably be my guess if that ended that, would be what you said there at the end. Because I just think, again, Brady, as much as he might have been like, ooh, the Raiders and Vegas and John Gruden, and that could be cool, as much as I expect the Raiders to be an improved football team this year and better and a player in free agency here and all that, I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl contender category. And again, I just don't think Tom Brady at 43 is going to waste a year to go, okay, guys, let's build something so when I'm 44, we can make the run. I just don't see that being a logical thought in a smart guy like Tom Brady's head. So, yeah, I think that's out the door. I think the Raiders know that, and that's why now they're trying to go back into almost a damage control to say, oh, Derek Carr's great, you love him, even though they've that's not what they always say and give us the warning signs for. I mean, it's natural for us to question it, right? I mean, that's where I don't understand the Raiders sometimes. You flirted with quarterbacks in the draft last year. You're the one that has opened this door of this conversation of whether Derek Carr should be the guy or not us. And, I like Derek Carr. I think he's good. He needs some help, and we'll see where that goes this year.
And here's the other thing, too, Chris. If Tom Brady's going to go to the AFC West and deal with Patrick
Mahomes
right,
Mike.
Twice per year, go to the Chargers, not the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right?
They're a team that's at least
don't you have a better chance to win. With all due respect to the Raiders, sorry, Raiders fans, you go to the Chargers, you got a better chance to win than if you go to the Raiders.
I think so. I mean, the Chargers at least have a defense where you'd be able to look at them right away and go, hey, I got evidence that they've given Mahomes and company, a lot of crap. They've given them a tough time. And of course they got Bosa and Ingram coming off the edge, Derwin James. I mean, they got some studs. Yes, but ultimately I think your point about the AFC West, I think, is real too. Who the hell would want to deal with that right now? And Mahomes and Andy Reid and then, yeah, that's just scary to me, let alone the Chargers have been one of the worst offensive lines in football the last few years. And I don't think Brady's going to want to deal with that either and get, lambasted while they try to figure out how to get the best 5 offensive linemen out there on the field.
So do you still think that he stays with the Patriots?
I do. I really am but it's like 51-49, where I probably would have said it's 60-40.
Wow.
But I feel like with the fact that we have heard nothing from the 49ers and continue to hear rumors about it and nothing else there, I just think it's I just think it's going to be close. I do. I really do. I just don't know where it's going to go. I mean, to me where's Brady at? Does Brady want to stay? Is he using this as a leverage play, or is he really kind of just want to go, no, screw you, New England and Belichick, and I haven't been appreciated, and I want to go somewhere new? What is it? Is it going to be a call of the 49ers saying, we want you, and then it's going to happen, or is it Brady's call? I don't know that, and that would be really interesting to know that.
I'm telling you, a new factor in all of this that Tom Brady may not have even realized yet, but I think he will. The extent to which coronavirus potentially impacts and limits the offseason training program, that may make leaving the Patriots less attractive because it will minimize his opportunities to get himself ready with a new team. We haven't seen him at OTAs much in recent years, but he knows that system like the back of his hand. Going to a new place, I think there's going to be a premium on getting yourself properly ensconced with the coaching staff, with your teammates, with the city, with the facility, with everything. And if we see that shrunken in any way, shape, or form, that becomes a factor for Tom Brady.
I agree,
Mike.
Mike.
We'll see how that plays out, and we'll see if free agency plays out next week.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.